you. Okay, this is it. You guys have been begging. Ranching. I have had more requests to make a full ranching video than anything I have done. So everybody's asking, and it's time, I guess, to do it. I tried to wait until I was all the way to level 10 and had, some of every single kind of animal that we can raise right now, all 4 kinds. But I am here to tell you that ranching is difficult and complicated if you want it to be or let it be. It can be as simple as you decide to keep it, but that's up to you. But there's no way I will cover everything in one video, and this is going to be a long, drawn-out video, so I'm going to try to get right to it. General things first. Are there 213 traits? Well, yes and no. There are 97 unique traits. Everything else, the other, 116 traits are just a higher or lower value of one of the 97 traits. So if you want to learn all the traits, you have to learn 97, not really 213. Okay? I know, it's a lot anyway. There is only one category offers 6 levels. All the rest of them offer 5 levels or less. So some might have 4 levels or 3 levels, like unique 1, 2, and 3. Content is the only category that offers 6. So there is level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of that particular category. So that gives you an idea of how 97 traits turned in to 213 traits. Okay, the next thing to know, and this is important, is understand that your animals each have a different outer covering. So when you are looking at traits, specifically cosmetic traits, you can know what type of animal will be able to have that trait by knowing what kind of outer covering, the word you need to look for. In a pecky, the word is feathers. In a trufflet, the word is fluff. If it says cotton candy fluff, that's never going to be on a bee or on an ormu or on a pecky. Fluff is on a trufflet. Okay, if it's an ormu, it's going to be called fur. And if it's a bumble, it's going to be called fuzz. F-U-Z-Z. So those are the easy ways to remember what the cosmetic traits might be when you're looking at them. Okay, there are 2 kinds of traits, by the way. There are functional traits, which is what most of them are. I'd say 75% of these traits are functional because of all the different level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of each one. The functional trait is something that the animal does, something that it needs, something that it takes from you, something that it gives to you, something it takes from other animals or gives to other animals, something it causes to happen on your farm. If it is a glutton and that causes all of the animals on your farm to receive less focus or happiness when you take care of them, then that is a function of that particular trait, and that is a functional trait. The other type of trait, which there's much less of these to choose from, is cosmetic. And that's how the animal appears or looks. So say you have cotton candy fluff for a trufflet, which is kind of a pink fluffy for their hair, on the trufflet. You're not going to have cotton candy fluff 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but you will have content 1, 2, 3, etc. You will have glutton 1, 2, 3, etc. So that's why it seems like there are less cosmetic traits, but that's the 2 differences, okay? Now there are 2 legendary traits that are not inheritable. They call them uninheritable, meaning you cannot pass them down. So if you have an animal that has one of these traits and you would like to breed it so that you can have babies with that trait, it will not happen for 2 and only 2 traits that I know of. The one is called bird of prey and the other one is called truffle-toi. And truffle-toi, I believe, means that your trufflet will cook food for you, but only while he's alive until the day that you know that he's venerable and no longer produces and no longer can be bred, and you donate him to a happy place. Then it's gone forever until you maybe luckily get it some other time. These are highly, highly rare legendary traits. And bird of prey, I think, is similar. I think that maybe your Peckies bring you something besides eggs. But like I said, those two things cannot be passed down or inherited. And they're the only two traits I know of that are like that. There are some traits that are considered to be other. If you look at a spreadsheet on Google for all of the traits that your animals can get on your ranch in Palia, you will find that some of them might say other, and I call those PETA traits, P-I-T-A, pain in the animal traits, if so to speak, because they are a pain, some of them, all of them, really. One is cuddly, and it is happy for a little less time than usual after you pet it. Come on, grumpy. It gains less happiness. Hangry. Happiness decays faster when hungry. You see what I mean? Lazy. Produces items slightly slower. Malcontent. Happiness decays somewhat faster. Needy. Happiness will drop significantly the longer it goes without being petted. Overstimulated. I really don't like this one. Loses a moderate amount of focus when you pet it over its happiness limit. They are called other. I don't know why they aren't common, rare, uncommon, epic, or legendary, but they don't seem to be. They seem to be called other on everything I've looked up, but I call them PETA, pain in the animal. That's how I remember them. Sensitive stomach. Loses a moderate amount of happiness when overfed. Really? Okay, small stomach. Can eat somewhat less food. Now, why do you care? Well, because you're gaining experience as a rancher trying to level up. And even when you get to level 10, you want to get to a level 11 so you get 10 more medals, because you need to spend those ranching medals at the ranching store cash register to get the better cookies. You know what I mean? So you want that experience. And if you have a lot of animals that have the PETA, pain in the animal traits that I'm reading to you, it can just be, a little bit unhappy. So beware of those. If you get an animal with those traits, they're going to be more trouble, and you may want to donate them. All animals that you have, all four types, can have most of the functional traits. Not 100%, not all of them, like your Ormu can't have 100% of the functional traits possibly, but almost. It might be 99%. The functional traits are going to apply pretty much to Ormu, trufflets, peckies, and bumbles, okay? Your cosmetic traits, on the other hand, are somewhat specific. So when you get a trait that is specifically a coloration, say, for a bumble, you're probably not going to find that same trait available for a peck. Also, right now, when you are donating an animal, and this is, I know, a weirdly specific situation, but I've had this question come up 4 or 5 times, and it took me forever to get any kind of an answer. But if you are donating an animal and you go to the donate and you mouse over the donate button, over here, it will say animal, and it'll say value, rare, okay? If it says anything else right there, like if it says focus 242, no, you're not going to get 242 focus. That's a bug. If it says soothing smoke, no, it doesn't put out soothing smoke. It doesn't give you a smoke candle when you donate that animal. It's a bug. It's a mistake. So don't worry about it. Just ignore it. Hopefully they'll make it go away someday. Args. Okay. Accomplishments. There apparently are people who did not know there were accomplishments. So if you push I on your keyboard, whatever you use to get to your accomplishments, you can look at them and find out that there are now ranching accomplishments. There are 3 of them per week. So just like you would have, say, a weekly, accomplishment on fishing or whatever, and so you get some medals if you catch 10 fish, or if you catch 10-star level fish, or if you catch 30 fish. So, you've got a chance to get those, okay? And now they have them for ranching. So it's feeding or giving a treat to animals 20 times, breed animals to add 3 babies to your farm, and collect items from animals 10 times, which I think I collect items 10 times a day, every chance I get, because collecting the items gives you the absolute most experience. You're going to, pick up some eggs from a pecky and get 140 experience. But even if you don't have really, if you haven't donated to the Phoenix statue a lot and you only have, 50% extra experience, you'll still get 113 experience rather than just 70 experience. So it's always a good idea. And this is only if you have food, if you've eaten food. So if you don't eat any food, you're not going to get that extra bonus experience that you get from donating at the Phoenix statue. So anyway, I have a whole video about how that works. Go watch it if you need to know. But I'm just telling you that, picking up milk, picking up eggs, picking up mushrooms from your animals, picking up honey from your bumbles, this is how you gain the most experience to get from level 9 to level 10 to level 11. That's how it works. Okay, there are 3 types of things you can feed your animals besides food. These are cookies, treats, and biscuits. It is a whole list and a whole story, but I just wanted you to know, in case you're only looking in your box, after you put everything away in your storage box, if you go to it and you only look under the word treat, then you're only going to find the treats that you have. So I right now have 6, or 5 treats, and a book called a treatise. So that's all that's all the cookies I have? No, because you not only have to look under treat, you have to look under biscuit. There you go, another whole list. And then you have to look under cookie, okay? And then you have all these cookies. So it's not just treat, it's treat, biscuit, and cookie. Biscuit is, I find, the moon-shaped cookies that make your animal give you a little bit better return on investment when you donate it. So if you have an animal and you're going to donate it and get 1 common treat bag, you can feed it one of those moon-shaped biscuits and maybe get 1 common and 1 rare, or 3 common instead of 1 common treat bag, and the better and more treat bags you get, the better off you are as far as having these to give to your animals. So that's why those matter, and those are biscuits. The rest of the biscuits are all about breeding. You feed them, they're bone-shaped, and you feed the bone-shaped biscuits to them if you want them to pass down their characteristics, or the other ones if you don't want them to pass down their characteristics. So, that's kind of one way that you can look at it. The actual treats are more like pal snacks. Like if you give a square cookie to your animal, it's going to produce its product faster. So if it's a pecky, it might make its eggs in 12 hours instead of 24 hours or something, depending on the pal snack that you give it, which is a treat. And then the cookies, these cookies have more to do with functional traits, cosmetic traits, and happiness, and whether something grows up immediately, never grows up at all, or grows up at a quicker rate. Okay? But what some smart person told me to do was go to my safe storage, remove all my food so that I have nothing under cooking at all. So all my cooked dishes are gone from my safe storage, and they're all in my regular storage now. So in my regular storage is all of the food I've ever cooked. In my safe storage, there are no cooked meals at all. So when you go to meals or cooking in safe storage, the only thing that's going to show up is your treats. So you have now made your own cookie jar. If you have always wanted a treat jar, a cookie jar, or a biscuit jar for all of your treats, you don't need to wait for S6 to make one for us. You can make your own. There's nothing you've ever cooked that you need to worry about leaving in your safe storage box unless you have one star level celebration cake you're attached to. Then go ahead and leave it in safe storage or whatever. And it doesn't matter if it shows up with your treats. The point is, take everything you can out of cooking in your safe storage, put it all in regular storage, and then move all your cookies, treats, and biscuits to safe storage. And now you have a cookie jar. That is the number one best time-saving, life-saving, quality of life thing I can tell you about ranching right this minute. So don't miss that tip. You're going to be really happy that you did that. Okay, you can go to the cash register and read it yourself. So I'm not going to read it, but you go over here to the cash register. This is the farming cash register. And when you start out, maybe you can't buy anything and you get to level 2 and you might be able to buy something. And level 3, you might buy something else. And level 4, you might be able to buy, a trufflet. Level 5, you're going to get an extra pen so that you can have 20 animals instead of 10, and you can maybe buy a couple more cookies. That's how it works. So until you get to level 10, you are not allowed to buy everything. It goes up with your level. And certain cookies past the bumble, these cookies are all sold only for metals, not for gold, which is so hard. But each one of these is going to tell you what it is, and you can read about it yourself. So I'm not going to read those all to you. This is going to be a really long video anyway. Okay, this is another life-saving thing. If you are down at the back pen or down at the lower pen and you have an animal you find that you want to give away and you have been running all the way back up here, as I did, run, all the way back up here to go to this book so that you can open this up and then donate an animal, okay? So you don't have to come back up here. A very wonderful subscriber of mine has taught me that I can just push H as in happy. If you're on your keyboard and you're using a keyboard, whatever your housing menu is when you're on your plot, then that's the same button you would use for your I'm getting rid of this animal section. So just push H and it comes up no matter where you are on the ranch. Now, it's not going to come up if you're in Palia, Kilima or Bahari or on your house, whatever. This is when you're on the ranch property. Anywhere on the ranch, you push H and this will come up and you can get rid of something like, if you are at a breeding limit when you're down in the happy breeding baby pen and you want to breed these chickens and you just can't because you're out of space or whatever, you can quickly give one away or donate one. Okay. Run out the back door and fly to the second pen once Nao gives it to you. This tip came from Rygiver, another one of my subscribers. Thank you, Ryan. I could just love you forever, and I do anyway. But you can run out that back door, jump over this fence, and fly down to this second pen. So it's way faster than walking. Now, it's still going to be a long walk to get back. But it's a lot faster to get down here from your upstairs pen to your downstairs pen, I like to call it. And that's something I learned from Rygiver, and I love that, and I do it every day. Okay, another little trick for me. You do you, but this is what I do so I don't get confused. You will get a lot of free naming cookies that you can use to give your animal a name. I have gotten lots of them. I think I have 15 in my box, So what I do, for example, is I name my animals after their traits. So you're going to say, what the heck is a Sunprico Chizig? This just means that this particular Pecky is sunny yellow feathers. He's precocious, so he's going to grow up really fast. He's going to age fast. He's cheerful, so he's great for everybody that's around him. And he's got zigzags. He's a sun precoce zig. So then I know exactly what he is when I am breeding and doing all that good stuff. Now, once I have gotten an animal that I super love and I know I'm going to keep it until the day it is venerated and I have to donate it. Well, now, if it had every trait in the world that I loved, I might use my one and only cookie that you can use to make your venerated animal back into a baby and keep all their traits. But I may only get one of that cookie or treat or whatever it is my entire life of playing this game. So I'm saving it until I'm really sure. I'll use the name-changing cookie and give it a name like Marilyn Monroe or Ziggy Marley or whatever. Until that time, I just name them after their traits because it keeps me straightened out on what I'm doing when I'm breeding. If you have animals that you don't care about, and you really don't want to keep them and keep feeding them, but you are looking to get some better treat bags. You want some better rewards and treat bags. Then just feed them the cheapest thing you can, okay? And give them an accelerated aging cookie. So even if they are a young adult or an adult, it doesn't matter. An elder even, you can give that animal accelerated aging cookies to make it age up to venerated really fast so that you can then donate it at venerated rather than at young, adult, or elder, because then you will get better bags of special treats. Feeding. If you look at an item and you see that that item will give you focus if you eat it, then it will give your animal focus if they eat it. So this is a good rule to follow and an easy rule to follow. So I've gotten some things in my bag, some food in my bag, and I would like to see, if all of these things have a focus points, plus 30 focus if I eat that potato. I can eat that as this human being. Also, if I want to feed it to my animal, I can also feed that potato for 30 focus to my animal. This works with every food in your chest, every food you've ever saved or made. If you can eat it, they can eat it, except for one, staircase mushrooms. Staircase mushrooms are edible. They grant 5 focus points to you. You can eat them all day. They're safe for you. You can't feed them to your animals. Don't know why. Absolutely don't know why. There's no reason. I think it's a mistake or a bug or something they overlooked. Because everything else that's from the elderwood that you can eat a pixie berry. They can too. You can eat potatoes, so can the animal. You can eat a floatfish mushroom for 5 focus, so can the animal. The only thing they can't eat that you can eat is the staircase mushroom. Now, if you can't eat it for focus, they can't either. So, for instance, this raw chop of meat, yeah, you can't eat that and gain anything, and neither can they. You have to cook it. So if you want to get by cheaply, just, make these mushroom skewers or fried meat or whatever on your fire at home in your yard, or feed them milk. If you have Ormu that give you milk every day, just take that milk and instead of selling it, you can give 15 focus points to your animal by, feeding it some milk, and you'll get 2 experience for having done that. Okay? All right, so we talked about the food. Oh, the last thing about food is some animals are really picky because they're pain in the animals, and they want, epic or rare food in order to get a full amount of happiness. So you can look at your food and see congee is common. It's very common. Everybody can make congee. It's, not high point or anything. Honey is uncommon. Celebration cake is epic. Meaty stir fry is rare. So if you have an animal that's only happy if you give it something rare or something epic, then you're going to have to find purple and teal choices in your box of goodies that you store, your storage chest, or in your kitchen and go cook it up. But yeah, they'll be teal colored or purple colored to be rare or epic. And that's about it, I think, on what food you can eat that they can eat. Okay, whew, this is a lot. Fill your belly before you fill theirs. So, you know what that means. Don't feed them until after you eat, because you're going to earn points for feeding and petting and gathering eggs. And if you have not fed yourself first, then you're going to get a lot less. So, just find something on your bar you like to eat it, and up in the top left of my screen, you can see that I am filling up my focus bar up there. So once you eat and fill up that focus bar, then go take care of your. You will only have 10 animals at first until you get to level 5, and Nao gives you the extra pen, and then you can have 20 animals at a time. And let's say you're limited to 10 peckies, 8 trufflets, 6 oramu, and 12 bees at a time. And you think, okay, I can only have 10 peckies. I can never go over 10 peckies. That's not true. As long as you don't have your full 20 animals on your farm, and you can have up to 20 animals at that point in time, or 30 later in the game, then you can have as many peckies as you want to breed and make. So say you breed them all and you've all of a sudden got 14 peckies, well, they're not going to give eggs as fast. But what you can do is donate 4 of them. So after you've bred them and you've gotten some special ones that you want to keep, then get rid of some of the older ones for good treat bags. So what I'm saying is you can go over the amount. They want you to not have more than 8 trufflets, and if you have more than 8, they're not going to give you mushrooms as quickly. But they're not going to disallow it. You can do it if you want to. And you can always have 10 or 11 trufflets and then get rid of a couple of them to get back down to 8. Same thing with the 6 ormu and the 12 bees. This is the recommended amount that S6 has told us on our ranch that we can have if we want the maximum potential for the product they're going to give us. If you don't mind that you get less, then you can use all 30 of your slots for peckies and have 30 peckies on your farm and no other kinds of animals if that's what you want to do. And you'll, maybe get an egg next week or next year. Your animals also have a status bar. So on their status bar down at the bottom, it will say different things about, it soothed if they've been petted. So if I pet this guy, the status effect down here is going to say soothed. So I can't soothe him again for over 6 hours. And recently petted, I can't pet him again for almost 18 hours, and get any points for it. I just got experience for petting this guy, but I can't get experience for petting him again for 18 hours. So, always check your status effects. The status effects that are available are soothed, which means your animal's happiness will not decay. Recently petted, the animal will not gain happiness from petting until this is over. New in town, which means you purchased that animal and it cannot be donated to get rid of it no matter how rotten it is. It can be dirty, glutton, city, and you can't get rid of it for the first couple of hours of real time after you purchase it. So that's new in town. It might say Pal Snacks down there under status effects, and that means it's producing items at a slightly accelerated rate. If it says dispassionate, that means you can't breed that animal right now because it just had a baby and they need extra time to recover. So, if your animal has had a baby that day, you probably can't do it again until the next day. It might say accelerated aging 1, 2, or 3 down there. This means that it ages slightly faster, moderately faster, or much faster, depending on what cookie you have given it, okay? So those are the status effects that are down there. Now, say you've got accelerated aging on a baby and that baby turns into a young adult. Well, then you might want to give it a cookie that takes away an active treat effect, okay? So if you give them that cookie, it's a round, plain one. You can buy it in the cash register. It's just called plain cookie. It'll take away the aging effect, and they'll stop aging so quickly if you want them to have a nice, normal, regular lifespan. But that's the status effects that are down here that you want to kind of keep track of. These are your traits. This is the abilities. Each animal has an ability like egg producer, milk producer, mushroom forager, honey producer. Okay? And then up here is how much food this guy has had and how happy this guy is. All right, we have a list, believe it or not, of treats. The cookie of the day is half yellow, half plain. It's uncommon, and it will have to be purchased with store medals. And this is a cookie that can give a random trait. The Divine Donut is legendary. It's an iridescent purple-looking donut. And that's going to come in for one of your, let's say, finishing an accomplishment that you get an award for, or maybe from an extremely legendary bag of treats. The Fancy Breed biscuit is common. It's half pink and it's shaped like a bone, and you can buy it in the store. Fancy or the fanciest breed biscuit, which is half dots, half pink, and shaped like a bone, does not come from the store. It only comes from the treat bags. Then there's the Fast Grow cookies. So the Fast Grow you can buy in the store. It's donut shaped. The Faster Grow has stripes on it, and you can buy it from the cash register with store medals, with your ranching medals at the store. And the Fastest Grow cookie is like a red donut shape with white stripes, and that only comes in the rare treat bags, the nicer treat bags. Then you go on to the feel good cookies. So there's like feel good, feel great, feel amazing. You get it. They're shaped like triangles. They're various colors. They just make your animal feel better. The Go Next cookie gets rid of the cool down. So if your animal says dispassionate, meaning you can't breed it that day, you can give it this cookie and then you can breed it right away. It's like got a purple heart in a round cookie, and that's the Go Next cookie. Okay, Good Value biscuit. They're not, exactly real common. Moon-shaped ones that I told you about that give you more value, so better treat bags. So those are different moon shapes and different frosting, but that's what those are for. So that's something you feed them if you're about to donate them. The Immaculate Confection, this is getting a baby from one parent instead of breeding two parents, and this is a legendary cookie, so you're not going to come across that very often. The Instant Grow cookie is a very rare one. It's rare, half blue frosted donut shaped cookie, and this is if you have a baby that you've bred that you're in love with and you need it and you need to breed it and you want it to grow up right now today, so you can do that. You can give it the Instant Grow cookie. It'll pop into a big pecky or whatever kind of animal it is right away. Okay, there's also a Me First cookie. It's very common. You can get it for all kinds of ways, but you can also buy it in the store, and it is a red heart in a round cookie. That just means you want that animal to have first dibs on what traits get handed down. You're using two animals and you like one better than the other. Well, because it has better traits, then give it a Me First cookie, and its traits will have priority over the other animal. The Name Well cookie is uncommon, but I seem like I get it quite often, almost as often as the Me First cookie. So usually I'll have quite a few of those in my chest. And you can also purchase it at the store, just like the Me First cookie can be purchased at the store. The Never Grow cookie, you can also buy that at the store cookie. And that's if you don't want that animal to ever grow up and stay a baby forever, for whatever reason. The Oopsie cookie is also very rare. You can use it to remove a trait, but it's random. You can remove a random trait from your animal. So if your animal has 5 traits and one trait you hate, you can feed it this cookie and keep your fingers crossed and just beware. It's random. Okay, Pal Snacks. These are just production cookies. So these are going to help your animals produce their product quicker. And there is a Pal Snacks and a Plus and a Premium and an Ultra, and so these are all the way from common, uncommon, rare to epic, and they just gonna make them give you eggs faster or whatever. The plain cookie we already discussed. That's to remove, a treat effect that you have made on your animal by feeding them a certain treat. Predictable, we talked about that cookie already. If your animals tend to get traits thrown on them that you don't want, like dirty and glutton, give them a predictable cookie and that won't happen to them anymore. The re-roll cookie is round, it's red, it's got white stripes, and it randomizes the tier of the traits, supposedly. So if your animal has 3 traits and one of them's a level 1 trait, one's a level 2 trait, and one's a level 3 trait, but you wish, oh gosh, I really wish Quick was level 3 instead of level 1, and vice versa, you can feed them this cookie and it'll randomize the level of the traits, and maybe it'll land up with level 3 or level 5 on the trait you like better. Maybe not. It's random. You get what you get. So, at your own risk. The roulette cookie. This is also rare. It's a random trait. It's uncommon. It's round, half purple. You can buy it with store medals. Same thing with the re-roll cookie is store medals. The tasty trait treat is also store medals. So that means it's the medals that you gain from random. The tasty trait treat cookie is half pink, half purple. And it'll give a functional trait. And how high the level is on that functional trait will depend on how many cosmetic traits you have on that animal. So that's really specific and hard to understand. The best I can tell you is if you've got an animal that has 3 cosmetic traits like stripes and pink fluff and shiny, so you've got 3 cosmetic traits, and then you use this cookie to give it a functional trait. The functional trait might be quick, which means it's going to give you eggs quicker or mushrooms quicker. Instead of quick 1, level 1, it will give you quick level 3 because you've already got 3 cosmetic traits on that animal. If you only had 1, it might give you quick 1. If it gave you quick. All of this is random and difficult, and I'm sorry, but it just is. Whew, you guys asked for it. Oh boy. The tasty treat is plain tasty treat cookie is a common plain triangle with no frosting on it. It's just about happiness. Half pink, uncommon round cookie, that's the trait treat, and it is going to also be a random trait. You just don't get to pick the trait that you give in any of these cookies. The very tasty treat is an uncommon triangle shaped with blue stripes, and it's for happiness. Bad breed biscuit, we talked about that earlier. It's going to be bone shaped, and this is given to your animals so that they don't pass down their traits. And same thing with worst breed and worst breed. I mean, bad, worse, and worst. So we've kind of gone through a lot of biscuits and cookies and treats, and you might be getting kind of tired of hearing about all that. So, yeah, we're going to just do something worse than that, which is traits. All right. Ages gracefully. This is a rare trait. They age slowly. Amethyst fluff. This is uncommon for a bee. Bee pressed is a common bee trait. Best buddies comes in 1, 2, and 3. They're happier when there's another animal with that exact trait. Bird of prey is the one I told you about that can't be handed down, but your Pecky will bring you hunting spoils, like it might bring you fur or meat. Blackberry fuzz is for bees. Bluesy feathers, chicken. Bubblegum fuzz is for bees. Caramel fluff is uncommon, color for trufflets. Charcoal fur, uncommon ormu. Then you have cheerful, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is how much happiness they get when you take care of them. Chocolate fur is for an Ormu. Content is the one that comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Content level 6 is legendary, and their happiness decays extremely slowly. Cotton candy fluff, uncommon, trufflet. Cuddly is a PETA, pain in the animal. We talked about that already. Dark chocolate fluff is trufflet, uncommon. Deep pockets can hold more items depending on how many cosmetic traits they have. Dense stripes I love. That just means the stripes show up a lot better, and that's uncommon on Peckies. Diplomatic comes in 1, 2, and 3, and it's, more happiness when they are with other animals, other animal species. They're diplomats. Dirty. This animal is somewhat grimy. Yeah, it's grimy, all right. Uncommon. It doesn't seem uncommon. I get it a lot. Diva is trait number 21, and the happiness depletes more slowly, depending on how many cosmetic traits they have, and their focus depletion is also slightly reduced. 22 is early bird. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gains more happiness in the morning if you take care of it in the morning. I can't be bothered. I'm so sorry. Number 23, fashionista gains more happiness, depends on how many cosmetic traits they have, and that's also rare. Fast metabolism comes in 1 and 2. You know what that means. They get hungry faster. Trait 25 is flowery fuzz for a bumble. All right, we're on to 26. Frosted tips is uncommon on a Pecky. 27 is glutton. Glutton 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5, for instance, is, gains a massive amount of happiness from feeding, but decreases the focus gained by other animals when they are fed. I don't want this on my farm. You do you. 28 is good memory, and that's legendary, so that's hardly ever going to come along, but, it is a possible trait. 29 is gourmand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's kind of an extreme but fleeting burst of productivity after eating food of epic or higher quality. So if you feed this thing some epic quality food, it's going to make 8 eggs really fast and then slow back down. So it's fleeting. It doesn't last, but there you go. 30, grazer. Grazer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This means their focus decays slowly, more slowly, depending on the level that you get. 31's grumpy. That's a PETA. We talked about that. 32, happy medium. It gains moderately more happiness, which depletes more slowly, and that's legendary and not going to come along very often. 33 is harlequin feathers on a Pecky. Hangry, PETA. Hardworking, produces items at a faster rate. Legendary, not going to get it very often. Healthy, produces items significantly faster, and their happiness depletes much more slowly. This is also legendary. You're not going to get it very often. 37 is healthy eater. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This can eat slightly more food. But I do believe that, if you want to feed your animal all the way to 100% of their food bar, you will get the maximum amount of experience from that animal if they can only have 100 and you give them 100. If they have 140, you'll have to give them 140 to get that same amount that you would have gotten at 100. So for me, healthy eater is not a great thing. Take it or leave it. It's not a big deal, but it's not necessarily good. Number 38 is hearts. This animal has a heart pattern on it. It's on trufflets that I've seen so far, but it can be on other things too. It's uncommon, but it's there. 39 is highlights. This is a Ormu coat pattern that resembles subtle highlights in the hair. I haven't seen that yet. 40 is high maintenance. This is luckily rare. But, so it's going to get more happiness if it has a lot of cosmetic traits. Okay, but, their focus depletes faster. So it's not great. I, I haven't had anybody with high maintenance yet. Whew, thank goodness. 41 is immature 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This means they age extremely slowly. So if you've got a certain animal that has a lot of great traits that you like and you want to keep it a long time to get a lot of babies out of it, you'll be happy if it has immature 5. Okay, so 42 is my nemesis, iridescent. It's uncommon. It has an iridescent sheen of like pink and green all over your beautiful animal. Oh, boy, it's uncommon, but for me, it's as common as mud. I get it on everybody. 43 is jealous. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. This is supposed to be anywhere from common for jealous 1, 2, and 3. 4 is uncommon, and 5 is rare, but I seem like I get jealous on everybody all the time. All right, almost halfway there. Lava cake feathers. This is red and brown feathers on a pecky. Lazy PETA. 46, light colored snout. So it's for a trufflet, and their nose is lighter color, and the end of the nose is pink instead of brown. 47 is loner 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It produces items faster when it's the only one of its species. So if it's your only chicken, you're going to get eggs faster from it, if it's your only pecky. But I just don't consider that to be a good thing because I'm always going to have as many as I can of everything. So it's never going to be the only one on my farm. 48, malcontent, PETA. 49, maternal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 produces items a great deal faster when there are baby animals in the nursery is maternal 5. So take it or leave it. Mentee is 50. Mentee 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 produces items at a slightly faster rate if there are older animals in the barn, which is Mentee 1. 51 is mild. This is legendary, so you're not going to find this very often at all, but happiness will deplete slightly faster, but it produces items at a moderately increased rate while at mid-range happiness. That is so specific, I can't even talk about it. All right, 52 is mirror image, and this is uncommon, and it's for a bumble with an inverted pattern. Needy, PETA. Night owl 1, 2, 3, and 4 gains significantly more happiness at night. I cannot be bothered to come 2 or 3 times a day to feed things. Ugh. 55 is oceanic fuzz, and that's going to be on a bumble. 56 is ochre, which is kind of a yellow brownish color fluff on a trufflet. It's kind of tan colored. It's uncommon. So, it's not that rare. You can get it. 57 is ornery, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a confusing one. It likes to be pet less often, but when you do get a chance to pet it, it likes it more. Give me a break. I don't like ornery. But I like it a lot better than overstimulated. Number 58 is overstimulated. This is another PETA. It loses a moderate amount of focus when pet over the happiness limit. Oh boy, yeah. If I can just go ahead and donate that one, I'm going to donate it if it's got overstimulated. Like I said, if that's the only trait, I might spend $1,000 on the cookie to get rid of it. But if it has some other traits that are good and I spend $1,000 on the cookie, I'm going to get rid of the good traits, and I'm never going to get rid of overstimulated. I don't have good luck on that. Maybe you will. All right, 59 is pampered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is, producing your items faster when you're at maximum happiness. So, you've been pampered. Makes sense. 60 is polka dots. 61 is precocious 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ages at an extremely fast rate. I love precocious. I'm never upset about it. Unless it happens to be on an animal that I think has like 5 fantastic traits and I want to keep that animal forever until it's completely venerated to be donated. And then I'm going to be a little bit sad if it's precocious 5 because I can't stop it from aging at an extremely fast rate. There's no way to, well, you could try to get rid of the trait by giving it the $1,000 cookie and see what happens. 62 is for productive, and productive comes in 1 and 2, and it means it's an epic, 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 epic. You're never going to hardly see it, but if you get it, it means they give you 2 extra items each time. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's all good, and I wish all my animals had it, but I haven't had it yet so far. 63 is proud, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this means that the traits on that animal are much more likely to get passed down to their babies without any cookies. You don't even have to give them a cookie to get them to pass down their traits. Now, if they have traits you don't like and they have this trait, then you're in a world of hurt, but figure out something you can do to fix it or donate it. 64 is quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Produces items extremely quickly is the legendary number 5, quick 5. Quick 5 is my favorite trait by far, as far as functional. Cosmetic traits, there's so many that I like, and then there's a few like dirty that I really don't like. Not going to talk about it. Quick 5, though, I love that, and I have had it on a couple of animals, and it's really great. Okay, 65 is quiet 1 and 2, and this means they're not going to pass their traits down. They're not likely at all to pass their traits down. So you would want to give them a cookie that will help them to pass their traits down if they have traits you like. 66 is quirky, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This means that they're going to be more likely to randomly gain traits. And you know what? In my case, they gain traits I don't like. So if I have somebody that has really good traits, I try to get that cookie. If I at all can, I try to get that cookie that's called predictable and has blue stripes on it and it's round, and you give it to them, and they can no longer get random traits thrown at them out of the skies and the heavens from nowhere that you didn't ask for, like dirty and glutton. Okay, 67 is redwood fur. This is for an ormu. Salty toffee fur is for an ormu. Both of those are uncommon. Sensitive stomach, PETA. Shiny. This animal has extra shiny sheen. This is number 70. It's uncommon, but I get it all the time. It's not my favorite, but, I don't hate it. 71 is show off 1, 2, or 3, and I love this one because it increases their donation value without you having to give them a cookie. And this is uncommon, common, uncommon, and rare in order of 1, 2, and 3. So show off 3 is a pretty rare trait to get, but it's massively increased donation value, which means you're going to get a lot better bags of goodies when you donate it. Love that trait. 72, simple palate, another one. Great trait. Don't ever worry about it if you get this one, because it just means it gains more focus from common food. Who doesn't like that? I love that. Simple palate comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have yet to get simple palate 5 on anybody, but I have gotten 4, and I really love that because they get more focus even though I feed them junk. You can give them congee, and they eat it like it's celebration cake. 73 is small stomach PETA. We talked about that. 74 is a legendary trait called snacky that you're just very, very rarely going to see. 75 is snowy tundra fur on an ormu. 76 is social, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gains more happiness when there are at least 3 other animals of the same species, on your farm. Nothing bad about that. They're going to gain happiness regardless, but if there's 3 or more of them, they're going to gain even more happiness. 77 is soft, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If they're soft, they stay happy for a little bit longer after you pet them. So that can be good or bad. Depends. You want them to stay happy, but at the same time, you want to be able to pet them again more quickly so that you can get more experience again. So, one way or the other, it's not a deal breaker. Sparkly. I love sparkly. This animal has a sparkly sheen. When I get sparkly, horns on an ormu, I just do a little jig. I love that one. 79, spoiled. It's uncommon, but, gains much more focus from epic or rarer foods and less from anything else you feed it. I don't like this one. It is spoiled 1, 2, and 3. So, you're just, if I can get rid of that animal, I'm going to donate it. Feed it a cookie so you get a better bag. All right, number 80, spotty body. It's uncommon, but I got it on my very first bee, and it turned my pretty ultraviolet purple bee into the ugliest bee I have ever seen, with great big weird shaped spots all over it. Oof. If you get that one and you can't get rid of it by using the random trait removal cookie for $1,000 or whatever, then, give it a better value cookie, the moon-shaped ones, and donate it. 81, stormy feathers, my favorite Pecky color. 82 is stripes. Everybody loves those. Uncommon. You can get it. Sun-bleached fluff. I like this. Sun trufflets. It's just uncommon, so it's not, rare. You can get it. Sunny feathers. Uncommon on a Pecky. Love them. Sunset fuzz. Love it on a bee. It's red and yellow. It's my favorite color combination. I haven't gotten it yet, but I've seen it on other people's bumbles. So cute. 86 is superstar. Gains more happiness from petting depending on how many cosmetic traits they have. So, very specific. It's rare, so I haven't seen it yet. Sweet leaf feathers. I love teal. You guys know me. You know I love teal, and this is teal colored Peckies. What could be wrong with that? I love sweet leaf feathers. Until they get iridescent and get pink all over them, and then they're ruined. In my opinion. 88 is... we talked about it. Truffletois. Truffletois is legendary, and it means that your trufflets are going to cook food for you somehow with their non-opposable thumbs. But it's legendary and it can't be inherited, that one. Okay, 89 is two-toned. So trufflets and ormu can both get two-toned, and it's common. 90 is ultraviolet fuzz. That's on your Bumble, uncommon. 91 is unique. 1, 2, and 3. It gains much less happiness if there is another animal with this trait. Otherwise, their happiness depletes slightly slower. Well, I've gotten a lot of animals with unique 1, 2, and 3 on them, so it doesn't make me very happy, but it's not a deal breaker. 92, well-loved. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is gaining more happiness when you take care of them, and that happiness decays slower. 93, wild berry fur. This is on an ormu. Like we talked about, ormus have fur, bees have buzz, 94 is wild youth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Another one that's a little difficult to understand, but the happiness depletes faster when they are a baby and a young adult. But once they get to be an adult, then their happiness depletes a little more slowly. I don't know. Not a deal breaker. 95 is wise 1 and wise 2. I haven't gotten this yet on any of my animals. But when the animal reaches the age of venerated, it slightly decreases other animals' happiness decay. So the other animals on your ranch will stay happy longer if they're with a venerated animal that has wise 1 or 2 on it. Okay, 96 is youthful energy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this means that they're going to age slower until they become an adult. So if there's other animals that are younger than it is in the barn, it's very specific again. Okay, so if you have a young adult animal and you have a baby of that same animal, the young adult one's going to age slower because of the youthful energy it's getting from the baby. I'm not crazy about it because normally I'm trying to grow mine up pretty fast, get them up to venerated, and get those good treat bags. 97, the last one is zigzags, but zigzags is great. We love zigzags. It really truly is a pretty cool looking. Anything I've gotten zigzags on, I've been pretty happy about. So, all right, there you go. This is over an hour long. I will try to cut it down, but I just wanted you to know that's everything I can think of to tell you right now about ranching in Palia. And oh boy, I've lost my voice. And I really hope this helps you and that you will like and subscribe and think about becoming a member of my YouTube channel. And I hope that you'll ring that bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And I will see you in the next one.